Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Prep Sports Report Thursday Night Live. Took a week off last week. We both had a lot of things going on, but we're back. It's the coach and the columnist on Thursday Night Live from the Prep Sports Report Facebook page, the YouTube page, Call Demasi YouTube channel, Prep SAV, Twitter. We're all over the place, Steve, but once again, nice to see you, and hope everything's going well.
So the number one thing I noticed is I need a haircut. Haven't looked at myself a whole lot, but before next Thursday, I will get that taken care of. Yeah, good to see you again. Good to be back live on Thursday night. I think we had a good string going. Last week was kind of a mess, but good to be back. A lot of stuff going on, man.
I mean, it's crazy. Georgia High School State Association today announcing that they're canceling all football scrimmages. We got softball teams, volleyball teams playing this weekend, Georgia High School State Association. Kids going back to some schools. We haven't heard about any COVID-19 positive tests for kids going back to school in our area, but you hear it all over the nation. I mean, then, of course, young golfers making a big splash, and that's your expertise. We had Mary Miller on a couple of weeks ago, and now we're going to come back with Katie Barber. And then, of course, hey, without our sponsors, this wouldn't be possible, and got to thank them too. So it's yours. Tee it off, kick it off with your first topic, or tee it off with your first topic.
Yeah, I'd like to just start off by saying thank you to everybody in the community who has come out to and agreed to support the Prep Sports Report after this relaunch. It's a tough time for us to have done this. Obviously, it's a tough time for everybody. But I want to say special thanks to every sponsor that has agreed to help us, and welcome to the new sponsors like Bernard Williams Insurance. Thank you, Alan Williams. We really appreciate it. Thank you to Matthew Midget at the law firm of Matthew Midget. Big sports supporter in our area. Savannah Shamrocks, his wife. He and his wife are big supporters of Savannah Shamrocks rugby. But then you got to thank the guys, the folks who came on right away, like Rocky's Deli, Coach's Corner, John Henderson. Morrison Dental Associates has been with us for a while.
Granger Honda, Granger Nissan.
Granger Nissan.
And the man from across the pond that's very good at physical therapy, Stuart Fife Therapy.
Stuart Fife from Fife Therapy, Bart Weatherington Chiropractic. Man, I just can't tell you how grateful.
Little barbecue, Wiley's.
Little barbecue from Wiley's. You can't go wrong with that. Just can't say how thankful we are for everybody helping us get this thing off the ground and continue to do what we can do to bring good news into our community. I think what we do right now, while certainly not as important as what some people are doing, for me, I look forward to talking about young people doing great things in athletics that they can play right now, because it's quite honestly, it's some of the only good news we get every week is that somebody played well in a golf tournament or got offered a scholarship or signed a scholarship. I mean, that's some of the best news that we can hope for right now in terms of what's going on in our community and our country. So thank you to all of our sponsors. We are definitely indebted to you, and very grateful for your contributions, and hopefully you're getting the kind of exposure you want. I tell you, Carl, some of the stuff we put on Facebook and we put on our website gets thousands and thousands and thousands of views. We had the story of Carter Holton, getting selected for that baseball all-star game being played, I think, out in Oklahoma. 4,000 people have seen that post and shared it. That's incredible on our Facebook page. Very proud of that people, did that. It's not just that, though. We had a great story about the 9, talented volleyball players that are going to continue their careers in college playing volleyball. Over 2,000 people saw that one. So, guys, people are coming to us for their sports news in Savannah, and that's what you and I wanted. Is we wanted to be a primary number one resource to find out what's going on with the kids in our community who are working hard to achieve their dreams and their goals.
Hey, and I'm going to jump back. Hey, like you said, Carter Holton from Benedictine, St. Andrews. Let me see. I'm not forgetting anybody. Savannah Christian. Calvary's got coming up with their logo. The school's buying into it and supporting us to get more news about their kids. I mean, the more people we get involved, the more news we're going to get. We're going to have more people writing for us, more people taking pictures, and that's what it's all about.
That's right. I mean, as this thing goes on, and I know we're all praying for it, and God willing, we will have some sports, and we'll be able to cover those things. I can't wait to see where we end up going. And we got a story this week that nobody else has, right? Yep. Young junior golfer named Kate Barber, who is an 8th grader at Hancock Day School. I messed that up on the website the first time, and she's at Hancock Day School. She is literally one of the best junior female golfers in the country. Okay, she finished tied for 3rd at the U.S. Kids Golf World Teen Championship in the 13-year-old age group. Well, all she did was go out to Florence, South Carolina, the Country Club of South Carolina, and shoot 1 under par for 36 holes and qualify for the national championship of the Nota Begay Junior Golf Championship. Now, not only is that amazing, she will be featured on the Golf Channel. The national championship, which being played in November, it's out in Louisiana, is going to be featured on the Golf Channel. 2 hours primetime coverage, and our very own Savannah's very own Kate Barber will be in that tournament playing on national television. 13 years old. How about this though? It's the second time she'll be on national television. She's only 13 years old because she also played in the finals of the drive, chip, and putt national championship at Augusta National a couple of years ago. So this kid at 13 years old is just tearing it up. Everywhere she goes, she wins. She's a great young lady, extraordinary, great personality, but just a gorgeous golf swing. Plays golf really, really, really intelligently. You'd almost call her like an old soul. The way she plays golf is the way it was meant to be played. She plays smart. She understands the game. And you want to talk about somebody who has a passion to play golf. Kate Barber is a passionate golfer. She's living and dying with every shot. I can promise you that. I'll tell you a quick story about Kate. About a year ago, the kids were getting ready for the middle school golf championship that was being played at Savannah Golf Club. My son, who was only in 4th grade, was going to play. Well, we were trying to get ready. The tee boxes are a little longer and stuff like that. So we see Kate out there, and we walk over and say hello. And I said she had just how'd you play? And she looked at me and she said, awful. And I said, oh, geez, what'd you shoot? She said, well, I shot 1 over. So she shot 1 over par, said she played awful. And I thought, man, that's a pretty good day for everybody else in the golf course. Kate Barber thinks that's awful. And she was 12. So wow. She's a tremendously talented person. Her mom and dad, Ellen and Andrew Barber, great people. And they are, they've supported her throughout everything, but she has achieved so much at such a young age. And it's crazy to think, Carl, but we have 2 of the best junior female golfers in the country, maybe in the world, living right here in Savannah, Georgia. That is pretty wild.
What's ironic, they both were on TV already on the drive, chip, and putt competition at Augusta.
That's right.
So I've never been there, and I've been in Savannah now for 25 years, and that's a bucket list thing to get to Augusta National when they play the Masters. And here we have 2 girls, 13 and 12, and they're going to say, oh, back in the day, when I was 13 and 12, and that'll be 5 years from now. So
it's amazing. It's incredible to think. And if you look right now in the city of Savannah at the level of talent that is playing golf, junior golf in the city of Savannah, it is unbelievable. You're talking from the top of the men, the young men, Reed Lauder, Brendan Tigert, kids like that, all the way down into the very young, 8, 9, 10-year-olds. This group of 11 and 12-year-olds that my son is a part of, in terms of Chad Chadwell, who won a U.S. Kids Golf State Championship in Callaway Gardens this summer.
Nice.
Hal Dolander, we call him Bear, 12-year-old kid, going to go to Calvary, starting off, this year. He won the Matt Warren, shot 71-75. That's the real thing, man. Those are the numbers that real players shoot. My own son is an accomplished golfer, and he's the third or fourth best in his age group.
Right.
But you've got kids up, Mary Miller, Kate Barber. You got kids up and down, Erica Couch. Kids up and down the leaderboard every single tournament that we play. You've got potential college golfers, and I think Mary and Kate and Reed particularly, you're looking at bare minimum high Division I college golfers. We're talking Duke, Oklahoma State, Alabama, things like that. But I think with Mary and Kate, you're looking at pretty, if not a shoe-in, they're very much on the tour to the on the pathway to the LPGA.
All right, so we're watching Thursday Night Live on the Prep Sports Report. It's the coach, Carl DeMasi, the columnist, Stephen L. Weeks. All right, so you just rattled off all these great young golfers. You're the man that was the second to be coined the golf columnist over at Savannah Morning News when you worked there. All right, I want you to compare now. Let's go back to the 2000s when we just turned the century with a group of great golfers back then. Andy Baldwin, Mark Silvers, Brian Harmon, Chase McFarland. And now you got this new group coming up in the 2020s. Hey, decipher it. Which one do you think is going to be better?
It's tough to say. I mean, you look at what the people who it's pretty hard to argue with what Brian Harmon's done in terms of he's got some wins on the PGA Tour. He's been a consistent member of the PGA Tour. He's at this point, you have to say Brian's the best player ever come out of Savannah, tied with Gene Sowers. They're about the very similar career trajectories. I think that in terms of female golfers, you still got to go back and look at, Hollis Stacy's one of the best female golfers literally in the history of the game, right? So Kate and Mary got a long way to go to reach that level. But in terms of the depth of junior golf right now in Savannah, I would say it's a little deeper than it was back in the early 2000s. That Savannah Christian team was stacked with Brian Harmon and Chase and
I can't remember their names either.
God, I can't remember the other one's name. He's actually one of the better players there's another young man who's a great player down in the state of Florida right now who was on that team. He was a little bit of a late bloomer. Mark Silvers over Country Day, obviously. I mean, that's a lot of really good players. But I feel like the numbers right now are bigger. The sheer volume of talented players who all could develop into something really special it's just a little deeper now. In other words, you kind of knew what Savannah Christian was as a golf team, and the kids on that team, you knew what they were going back. Don't forget about Chris Epperson, and of course you've got Will Smith, who's a two-time Savannah City Am champion who played at University of Georgia, played the Canadian Tour. Those guys were there too. So it's probably pretty. Maybe it's more similar than I think. I wasn't as familiar with that group as I am with this group, but I think what's impressive to me about this group is every leaderboard I look at. If you go and pull up virtually any leaderboard of a junior event happening within driving distance, you see a kid from Savannah right now. A kid named Hamp Threlkeld, who won the 12 and under division at the Savannah Junior City Am. He's knocking on the door to try to win on the Southeastern Junior Golf Tour, which is top notch. I mean, that's the real deal, right?
Yeah.
I think he came in tied for fourth a couple weeks ago, just down south of here in Brunswick. I just think there's so many right now that are really, really good, and they all are kind of around the same age and going up against each other a lot, especially the boys. Mary and Kate have kind of separated themselves from the girls, and Mary's a little bit older than Kate, a year or so, but they're all going up against each other. And, and you know this from football practice, basketball practice, metal sharpens metal, right?
Yep.
You keep going up against the best. You keep going up against the best. Every time my kid tees it up, he's got to face Chad Chadwell, Hal Dolander, Hamp Threlkeld. You show up with your C game, you're gonna laugh you off the golf course. So you got to be ready every time you tee it up. And I think that's what's contributing to so many kids having so much success. When our kids leave this area and go play somewhere else, it's like a break. It's like a relief to not have to play against the guys that live down the street from you, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean definitely. And I'm gonna go. I've been here for 25 years. I've watched the golfers, young golfers here. I'm gonna have to say I'm not a golf expert, and I'm shooting in the. I ain't gonna tell you what I'm shooting in, but I mean, I'm gonna say there's more depth in this group right now than we go back in the early 2000s. There's more depth. There's more males and females. I mean, so there's more depth, and I can't wait to see what these guys do at the next level.
Well, it's interesting. I think that too. What's interesting to me is back then it was Harmon, it was McFarland, Jay Dagenhart obviously was a part of that deal a little bit. Mark Silvers. Even going back to my brother's time in the late 90s, it's a lot of good golf being played, but it was the same kit. It was the same people every time. Brian, Mark, etc. This thing, what I think has been fantastic about this this current summer is look at all of the different people who have shot amazing rounds of golf. Chad Chadwell put up 68 at Forest Heights in a U.S. Kids tournament. And then Hamp Threlkeld put up 67 at Bacon Park in the second round of the Savannah Junior City Am. Both of those, by the way, were dropped right on top of my kid's head. Mary Miller was the only player to shoot under par in the first round of the Georgia Women's Amateur. Kate Barber shot under par for 36 holes up in Florence, South Carolina. That's 4 kids. Oh, and then don't forget Bear Dolander, Hal, in the first round of the Matt Warren at the Savannah Golf Club, he shot 1 under. So that's 5. That's 5 different kids just in the past couple months, in all under the all either 14 or less, who put up an under par round. I don't know if you're not a golfer and you don't understand this. Let me put it to you like this: there are people who will play golf from the time they're 6 years old until they are 75 years old and never shoot under par. That's true. You shoot under par, you're in the top. Yeah, I've been playing golf my whole life. I've probably shot under par 24 times. Never in the 60s, by the way. I've never shot in the 60s. I've shot under par a couple dozen times. There are people that will play good, decent golf. In other words, there'll be a single-digit handicap golfer, never shoot under par.
Right.
These kids are doing it on the regular.
It's amazing.
As someone who follows golf and understands golf, it is unbelievable to see the level of accomplishment these kids have gotten to. I think it's one of the interesting things about COVID is the kids couldn't play baseball or soccer. They all went to the golf course.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see it. I can see the young men and women around the tournaments we're at. They're longer. They're shooting better scores. They're more engaged in golf. It's become a primary sport for a lot of kids who might have been playing something else, maybe soccer, maybe baseball, maybe even softball, or what have you, in the spring. But man, their work is paying off. It's really, really, really good golf right now in Savannah.
Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable. And you're watching Thursday Night Live on the Prep Sports Report Facebook page, on Twitter, Prep SAV, and of course on the Call the Mossy YouTube channel. Okay. Hey, we wanted to cover everything, and I got to send out a big kudos to Travis Jadon. He ran our quarterback preview series. I started out with the Savannah Christian QB caller, signal caller, Spencer Robichaud, another outstanding football player. Then you came up with the idea, we might as well just do a quarterback preview series, and you got Travis to write the stories. We covered Barry Kleinpeter. I said Spencer Robichaud, Patrick Blake out of Jenkins, Kleinpeter out of Country Day, Tyler Coleman out of Richmond Hill, Holden Garner out of Benedictine, Randy Jarrell out of New Hempstead, and we just finished the last one with Antoine McKay out of Bethesda. He's a lefty, and he's pretty impressive. So,
hey, I'm gonna tell you what, that McKay kid might sneaky be the best of all. I read his stat line in Travis's story, which, by the way, I'm gonna tell you right now, Travis did a fantastic job with those stories. Guys, you will not find that level of depth and coverage anywhere else in this city about our high school football. You're not going to find that. The level of coverage that Travis gave us was just top notch. Man, this McKay kid at Bethesda, he sounds like the real thing, Carl. Runs it, throws it. How about this? He had 7 interceptions last year playing in the defensive backfield. So McKay might be sneaky the best one in the group, but of course, Garner's getting a lot of attention from big-time schools. Kleinpeter's going to get a lot of attention from big-time schools. Hey, if Kleinpeter's last name was Manning, he'd be on ESPN right now.
Yeah,
right. He's doing the same thing that the little Manning kid is doing. You know.
Yeah. What I loved about the McKay story is that Travis went all the way back to his freshman year. I mean, this kid's been a starting quarterback at Bethesda. He didn't have a very good year as a freshman quarterback. Antoine Turner, we had him on, the coach, head football coach at Bethesda. He stuck with this kid. And you know what's special, Steve? When you get down to that Class A, Georgia Independent Schools Association, SCISA, they got to be Ironman football players. They got to go both ways. And I know I cringe when I hear the starting quarterback also playing free safety or sometimes even strong safety.
Isn't that crazy? He's laying people out. He's laying people out, picking the ball off, and then turning right back around and running the offense. I think that's incredible. And I tell you this, from living here, growing up here, watching, if anybody out there is thinking the Class A football or even the SCISA level doesn't have athletes, you need to turn up on a Friday night and watch Bethesda and Memorial and Calvary and Savannah Christian and those guys play football. There's a lot of talent in those things. Or go up to Metter sometime and see how serious they take their football in Metter. I think they're Class AA now. When I was going up there,
they dropped down to single A.
Yeah, I tell you, go take in a Metter football game sometime and see what they do up there and how seriously they take it. It's smaller, fewer numbers, but there's a ton of athletes in the Class A and the SCISA and GISA levels. I mean, Memorial sends kids to play college football every year, and it sounds like Bethesda's right behind them. And you look at this group that Travis previewed. 3 or 4 of those kids are going to play on Saturdays.
Oh yeah, they're going to be big time players.
They really are. I mean, you look at Holden Garner's playing somewhere on Saturday. Kleinpeter's going somewhere. I'd be willing to bet you that McKay ends up somewhere. Maybe he's playing on the defensive side, but he's going to play somewhere. I don't know. I just feel like it's a remarkably talented group of kids right now.
Well, it's exciting. He also highlighted players who are at the next level, and I was excited to read about that. You're talking about Memorial, Winston Wright from school up at West Virginia with Sam James from Richmond Hill, local, and then Sam Brown from New Hampstead is going there. So West Virginia knows that Savannah is a hotbed for high school football players. It's pretty impressive.
I got to tell you, I think it's one of those things where once 1 or 2 of them get out there doing their thing, you're going to see more people coming here. Savannah State, I know they had to cancel their season because this dadgum virus, but I know that they decided to focus on recruiting the Coastal Empire. And I think that was not by accident, Carl. I think that you look around and you look at Liberty County and you look at Bryan County, Chatham County, Effingham County, and a smart coach might even looking up a little bit north to Beaufort County and Jasper County in South Carolina. A smart coach will look around and say, "Well, guys, I don't need to drive 500 miles to find talent. I got talent, and I can be home for supper." Right?
It's right here in your own backyard. Why not take advantage of it?
And you've been coaching against it for gosh, 25 years, you've seen so many. And again, I don't know why it wasn't recruited like this previously. Maybe it was partially our area's fault, and maybe it was partially, hard place to get to in a way. But
I'm going to say it right here, Steve. I'm going to say it right here. I was head coach at St. Andrews for 2 years. I was head coach at Groves for 6 years. So 8 years I was a head coach in this area. Maybe I saw a Savannah State assistant coach or head coach on one hand 5 times. They never came. And I had a kid go to Georgia Tech. I had a kid go to Maryland. I had a kid go to Albany State. Albany State was on the same level. So, I've had a lot of kids go everywhere, and nobody from Savannah State pursued these kids. I think the stigmatism is that none of these kids want to stay home. Hey, if you start winning and these kids are going to get a free education, I think they're going to stay home. And Sean Quinn and their coaching staff has caught on to that.
There's nothing better. I mean, you get to stay home, stay around your family and friends. Can still look. I got to tell you, even as a 48-year-old man, I liked it when my mom and dad and stepdad and granddaddy and I liked them being at the games. That's meaningful to me. My kids right now, they want us at every golf tournament, at every game. So yeah, I think you're right. If if that, to me, that's a good pitch. Stay home, your family, your friends, your extended family can see you play. Man, I would definitely think that's a pitch, and not to mention, Savannah State's got a chance to be pretty good at football in the league they're in now. They did pretty well last year, and I got to tell you, I think if they started really doing well with recruiting around here, I when I was a sports writer, I remember going up to Statesboro and places like that, Claxton, Vidalia, and I would watch the games and just think, where are the college coaches? I know what it looks like. That's what it looks like. I remember I went and saw Liberty County play Statesboro in a non-conference, non-region thing, and it looked like a college football game. I mean, it was fast. It was hard-hitting. Final score was something like 31-27, one of those types of deals.
Yep.
They were throwing all over the yard. They were running complex offense. There was athletes everywhere. And I just thought to myself, why are there not 35 college football coaches sitting in stands right now? You could probably get your work done for the week tonight as far as scouting is concerned. So I'm glad to see that people are picking up on it, because there's a lot of talented – and these quarterbacks that Travis highlighted, I think inevitably will bring more attention to the area. I think certainly Kleinpeter and Garner in particular are going to bring a lot of scouts down here to see them, and they're going to see the kids that they're playing with and against, and that's sometimes what it takes. I mean, you've been there before. You gotta have them, gotta give them a reason to come down, and then once they're there, they're going to find 5 or 6 kids that they like.
Yeah, so we're excited about it. Like I said, when we started this almost a half an hour ago already. I mean, you and I could talk for 5 hours about this.
I know.
Softball's going to be kicking off this weekend. We got volleyball kicking off this weekend, and then next week we'll get into a little more volleyball and softball. And come towards the end of the month, there's no scrimmages now. So September 4th is the first weekend, as of right now, that will have opening week 1 or week 0, whatever you want to call it, in high school football. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And me personally, I mean, being a former head coach, I love scrimmages because she can work out the kinks. She can work out the bugs. I think in my 6 years at Groves High School, I was 1-5 in scrimmages, but it also helped me get ready for my team. So we didn't win many of them, but it helped me get everybody ready for the season. And I think that's what's going to hurt some of these local schools. But hey, college doesn't do a scrimmage. The pros this year are doing away with their scrimmages. So, in the world that we live in of the COVID-19 pandemic, maybe this is the best route to go, that we might make it through the entire season. But until we start wearing the mask and social distancing, I don't know.
I guess they're trying to buy as much time as they can. And I look, I think we all say a little prayer every day that this thing gets better. We show some improvement, and then we turn a corner at some point. It's the last 4 or 5 months has felt like 10 years, and I know that feels like that way to everybody. I tell you, for me, I'm really looking forward to having actual results, volleyball results, softball results. I cannot wait to have a player of the week on our show, right? That's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to highlight amazing performances. Volleyball, football, club soccer is looking like it's going to try to start. I see Tormenton and Savannah United. They're going to try to start up. I pray pretty much every day that this is the week that we start seeing it trend the right way so we can get back to normal, because that's what you and I really want to do. Is it's great to talk about how good we think the kids are going to be, but I'd love to be able to see them actually play.
But you're so good on paper. We want to see the real thing, So
That's right. That's right. You can only talk about how good we think they're going to be for so long. So hopefully, like you said, it's getting ready to start. Softball and volleyball are getting ready to start. God willing, there won't be any interruptions. And maybe this time next week, we're talking about somebody who hit 3 home runs in a game, or somebody who, a team that came back from a deficit to win a volleyball match. I mean, that'd be great. I hope that's what we're talking about next week, Carl, because that would be for me, that'd be a sign that we're really heading in the right direction. Yeah,
I can't wait either. So once again, Steve, great show, great job revamping that website, the prepsportsreport.com. We're ready to go. We're ready for scores. We're ready for highlights. We're ready for players of the week. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we get something out of this before hopefully nothing happens even worse where they might shut things down. I just hope not.
I agree. And guys, everybody out there, we're putting up new content virtually every single day at prepsportsreport.com. We're putting up content about football, golf, volleyball. I mean, every sport that people are playing in the area. Carl is working really hard. We got Travis working. Like Carl said, we're going to find some more writers as we get going. We're going to find some more photographers. We may do some special live things. Maybe we'll do a pregame show for the first football weekend. Who knows? There's a lot of cool things that we're going to do. Check out the website every single day, prepsportsreport.com. We're putting up new content almost every single day. And again, thank you to our sponsors. We named them all earlier. Bernard Williams Insurance.
Hey, you want a roll call? Here you go. Morrison.
Let's roll call it.
Granger Honda, Granger Nissan, Five Therapy, Rockies, New York and Italian Deli, Kabish, Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic, Coach's Corner, St. Andrews, Wiley's, Bernard Williams, Benedictine, Savannah Christian, and Matt Midget Law Office, the family.
Hey, I didn't mean to forget about BC and Savannah Christian. That is fantastic. My brother graduated from BC. My grandfather was a part of the founding group of Savannah Christian Preparatory School. Very grateful to those schools for coming in. St. Andrews is with us, where you coached for 2 years, and a couple of my cousins graduated from. So we've all got connections all over the place.
And my daughter graduated from there.
Daughter graduated from there.
She became a bulldog like you.
There you go. So we're so grateful for every sponsor, and we're going to look for more, and we're going to keep putting out great content. Hey, and some of the stuff that you find at prepsportsreport.com, you will not find anywhere else. We're covering this area differently, and I think better than any other outlet. So start from us, and like we talked about it all the time. What you're seeing on some of the other places, they're getting from us. So if you want to know what's going on first, come to prepsportsreport.com, and we'll keep you in the loop.
And if you have a story and you want us to get it out there, email me, kdemasi at prepsportsreport.com. You could call me, text me, message me at 912-507-9158. You can email me, text me, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, message me. Hey, I want to hear about the good kids. We want to get
go to the website.
The website.
Go to the website, fill out the contact form, send us your story, send us what your young athlete is doing, And I promise you, we'll find a way to make sure the community knows how hard they're working and what their accomplishments are, because that's what we do. Well,
that's
about all I can.
Those little tabs I never had a content page, so now I don't have to go
Contact us, man. Just fill out the form. It goes to both of us. Both of us will probably respond. Go to the Facebook page. Contact us that way. However you want to contact us, just let us know what's going on. And volleyball coaches, softball coaches, once the season starts, once you get going, send us your results. Send us your star players. Send us your amazing performances. We'll put them on the show on Thursday night. We'll do a story about them. Take pictures. Email us the pictures. Heck, take video. Email us video.
Yeah.
Love to have a video of somebody hitting a home run or spiking a volleyball. That'd be fantastic. So any way you want to get in touch with us, we're here for you. So get in touch with us.
So remember, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. right here on Thursday Night Live on the Prep Sports Report Facebook page live. It's the coach and the columnist. And hopefully we'll have a guest every Thursday night when it starts getting rolling. This is Carl Damasi for the columnist. Hey, whatever you're doing for the rest of the week, may it be your best week ever, and always hit it out of the park. Well, Steve, we're out of here. God bless. Be safe. Wash those hands. Wear that mask, and we'll see you next week.
You got it. Thanks, Carl. Take care.
Great job. I'll talk to you later.